Let me start by commending the United Nations Road Safety Fund for organizing this event to exchange views on road safety projects and financing. The issues being discussed today are particularly relevant for Africa. In this regard, inadequate financing is one of the reasons why road traffic deaths and injuries are disproportionately higher on the continent than other regions of the world. It's troubling that over 300,000 people die from road crashes every year in Africa. The road traffic fatality rate in Africa is as high as almost 27 deaths per 1,000 inhabitants, compared to 17 in Southeast Asia and 9 in Europe, and the world average of 17.5. The carnage on Africa's road is not only tragic for those affected, but also places an enormous economic burden on countries, costing up to 5% of their GDP. Addressing this problem merits serious attention from governments. Yet, funding for road safety in Africa is characterized by an overdependence on support from development partners. While external support is commended, more must be done to mobilize internal resources. Many lead road safety agencies on the continent are not funded through national budgets. As a result, as a result of these financing gaps, road safety strategies are systematically not implemented. It's encouraging that some African countries, such as Ethiopia, Cameroon, and Ghana, are allocating resources from national road funds to road safety. More countries are encouraged to emulate this practice. This is important, as saving lives on the country's roads is primarily the responsibility of governments. As such, they are expected to take the lead in funding road safety. I encourage countries to explore the creation of road accident funds. Resources for such funds could be generated from various sources, including fuel levies, insurance levies, road tolls, vehicle registration, inspection and licensing, as well as revenues from traffic fines. There is also scope for private sector funding of road safety. Indeed, road safety provides opportunities for impact investments. For instance, investing in vehicle inspection centers will improve the roadworthiness of vehicles on one hand and generate profits for investors on the other. Let me end by acknowledging the impact of the UN Road Safety Fund in Africa. The fund has enabled ECA, working with partners, to implement projects aimed at improving the road safety of road infrastructure, strengthening data management, and introducing UN standards for helmets in Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda, respectively. To date, over $1 million have been committed by the fund to road safety projects in Africa through ECA and other UN agencies. This is indeed commendable, though not enough given the scale of the road safety challenge in Africa. I assure you of ECA's commitment to the fund and to working with African countries and other stakeholders to develop high-quality proposals for projects to be implemented on the continent. Thank you for your attention.